What did you make of the end of the Justin Fields era, ending with a bit of a whimper, just a 6th-round pick?
It's not a situation that's unique to Justin Fields. It's the National Football League, and it's one that if you've been a part of it, you've been spit out by it at some time. And Justin Fields, unfortunately, this week had to pack up his locker and restart his career and really pivot his entire life. But I think it's a really good situation for both the Bears and for Justin Fields. It gives Ryan Poles runway to make the decision that you and I both know is the only correct decision here. And if you're a Bears fan, you should take comfort in knowing that. And if you're a bigger fan of Justin Fields than you are of the Bears, then you should listen to the commercial coming out of the break. It was the Dayquil commercial. If your symptoms are sickness, if your symptoms are flu-like, you should maybe use that. It says don't use it on children, but if you're acting like a child and you're an adult, we can still use it on you. That's the good news. We're moving forward. We're washing this thing out, and we are going to have a new quarterback in Chicago. I think it's the best move. It's the best laid plans that Ryan Poles could put in front of us. And, knock on wood, it's Caleb Williams from USC. And I think the important thing is this. You need a superstar in this National Football League, and we can all look at the tape and say, well, this guy's better at doing this and this and this, and I have an issue with this. And at the end of the day, you need a superstar. You need a guy with extreme confidence and a borderline cockiness that can go out there and stand tall in the face of the dragon on the road. Patrick Mahomes comes to mind. People want to say he reminds them of Patrick Mahomes on the field, and I say, what about him reminds you of Patrick Mahomes in mind? And that's just the fearless nature. He just seems like a guy to me who's under fire. You go look at these highlights, he's under fire every single snap. So he's played in these situations that you guys have complained about for a few moons now. So he's comfy there. And if you take a look at the box score, he puts a lot of points up, which is awesome. And you take a look at our defense, and it's an elite group, and they're an inspired group, and they're looking now to that void in leadership, and they're waiting for their guy to show up. And when he does, he's got to show them some stuff, and they're going to compete against him, and they're going to earn the respect of one another. And to be honest, that defense gets better when Caleb Williams walks in the door because they know they have everything more to play for. It's like when I went and played for Kansas City, I knew that the importance of every snap, every huddle, every detail in the diction, the verbiage was crucial to the success. And the success that we could have as a team could be ultimately a Super Bowl title, and that's what this team has to look forward to. That's the blueprint of the Chicago Bears right now. I want people to understand that. And when people say you can't start a number one pick at quarterback in this league because it'll ruin him, you have to understand this is no normal situation that Caleb Williams is waltzing into. He's walking into a room with a bunch of alphas that are looking for that elixir. They're looking for that next step to be able to catapult themselves into a place that none of them have been as a team. And I'm excited about it. I know you guys are. But for Justin Fields, it's a unique opportunity to learn from a guy that he was emulating coming out. They're both football, baseball guys, freak show athletes. Justin just happens to be bigger, faster, stronger. I played with Russell in high school, but I never touched him. I played against him, you know what I mean? But I never touched him. He was that good. And from the looks of it, I never got to share a huddle with Justin. He's bigger, faster, stronger. I would have never touched Justin either. Those two together, the learning curve for Justin, I hope, is progressed by being around a guy like Russell. And if he is who I think he is, Russell take him under his wing, and we'll celebrate him and his successes.
Lots of good stuff there from Kyle Long on the Parkins Spiegel Show here on The Score. Ryan Poles said he wanted to do right by Justin. There are reports out there that there might have been an offer for slightly better draft capital that Poles did not take. We don't know the actual truth of that kind of thing, but it is a good situation. Like you mentioned, going there to compete with Russell, play with Russell for a team that wanted him. Does that have value around the league? Because we've certainly seen a lot of former players, a lot of current players feeling a sense of empathy for Justin. Does it matter to players? Does it matter for the Bears' reputation that they sent Justin to a pretty good spot overall?
I think guys don't really, Look, when I signed with the Chiefs after a year of being retired, I didn't look at their transaction history and where they were sending guys. You know what I mean? The phone call was, "Do you need me to work out?" And Coach Reed was like, "No, big fella, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll get this thing done." And I think that's really what free agents are thinking about, and guys who are drafted are thinking about is what city I'm going to, what's the situation for my family, how am I going to be competing for a spot, and is my team going to be competing for a title? Now, this situation is unique, and all the characters involved are unique, and you see the visceral reactions. You read the visceral reactions on Twitter and Instagram, and all these guys have lost a dear friend. They're not going to be able to spend time with them, but it's a learning experience, and hopefully they become hardened by this learning experience. And moving forward, this can really be something that galvanizes this group. And when a guy like Caleb Williams shows up, maybe it's the catalyst.
What are fair expectations to put on Caleb Williams and the Bears next season?
A team that's very explosive on offense. On third down, they're probably going to have a lot of options with Keenan Allen in the short area quickness, the route running dominance, the ability to find, holes in the zone. I think about Kelsey being able to sit down in soft areas in the defense. Keenan Allen, very good at that. In addition to, he's able to give the quarterback an opportunity to get rid of the ball quickly with his release wins. He's one of the best in the league. He's done it for a very long time. And then DJ Moore, obviously, is a freak show. And any opportunity that you have with him in single coverage, I throw the ball up and I'm going to give him an opportunity to get the ball. Cole Kmet, opportunity to continue to develop as a safety net for the quarterback. He's such a big athletic target. And I think Caleb Williams, that's the first guy you got to go dap up. Him and Justin were super tight. I think it's important that the tight end and the quarterback relationship is as strong as any in the locker room. And then obviously you think about the offensive line, and it starts with Darnell Wright at the right tackle position, and the things you're able to build into your scheme just based on the fact that he's a winner on the backside and in the inside zone department. And if you want a defensive end to be displaced laterally or vertically, he's a guy that can put hands on him and do what he wants with, and that sets up a lot of your plays. So I think that Coach Waldron will have a feast in terms of the training camp options that he gets to see and put on paper and present his young quarterback with.
Listen to Kyle Long, plugged in on all things Bears here. Like when you talk about Keenan Allen being a comp for Kelsey in terms of finding the soft spots in the zone, that's exciting. We played something the other day. Patrick Peterson said that Keenan Allen is one of the few guys who can manipulate coverages to get open. I love that idea that he's like thinking about it as he runs routes. Let me ask you this. When you're a rookie, Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, 1,295 yards for Brandon, 1,421 for Alshon when you're a rookie. Does this have a chance to be the best wide receiver tandem in Bears history, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore?
They've got a long way to go, obviously, together to reach that mark. But I mean, that rookie year, we had answers. We had answers, and that was the phrase in the meeting room. There was no pressure package. There was no coverage group from X team, Y team, Z team that really threatened us to the brink. We were able to run the football with Matt Forte. He was able to be available in the screen department and checkdowns for Cutler. And obviously Cutler with his big arm ability, getting the ball down the field to Alshon. But Brandon was our safety net. I mean, you'd be able to throw him those smoke screens and just watch him be a freak show. He would let his flag fly very high. You get him the ball quick. It takes the pressure off the offensive line and obviously the quarterback.
What's been wild to me, Kyle, about this is I have been screaming from the mountaintops for Caleb since the minute the Bears got the number 1 pick. I thought it was the obvious only move on the chessboard. Love Justin, enjoyed him, crazy exciting on crazy terrible teams, but just not good enough when this other option is there for you. And then you add in the 9th pick, and then you add in the cap position, and then you add in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Darnell Wright and Cole Kmet and everything else that's going for the Bears on the defensive side of the ball. I am disappointed, shocked, surprised, ultimately disappointed that Bears fans are not more unified in their excitement behind what this moment can be. What is your perception of how they should be feeling?
My perception is, and I'm not a a psychiatrist, a therapist, but I would say that there is a large contingency of fans, not necessarily just from Chicago, but sports fans in general, that tend to fetishize being the team that loses, and it's something that they can rely on and attach to their personality. Oh, I'm a this fan. Woe is me. Life sucks.
Fear of success, you're saying?
Get ready to strip yourself of that, because the Chicago Bears are going to give you a unique opportunity to reinvent yourself. I'm sure our guy Shane used to be emo, and now he's alt, and he's got the beard, and he rolls up his jeans. Everybody has an opportunity to reinvent themselves. Caleb Williams is coming to town.
What kind of stray shot is that, Kyle?
He's got painted fingernails.
What are you
he
doing?
Should be Shane's guy. All these fans.
I don't paint my fingernails. What are you doing?
Chicago
used to be emo
people. They should have a guy that they can latch on to. There's something there for everybody. If you like explosive offense, it's there. If you like a quarterback that can get out of dodge and go lead block, check my Twitter, because that's what Caleb Williams did as well. He buckled his chin strap on the way there.
Yeah, that is a crazy highlight. That is an
all-time highlight. Also, shout out to my guy Shane. He's the best. He always gives me a heads up whenever I can get on here and talk ball with you guys. I gotta bust his chops a little bit.
You come on whenever you want. Open invite, and Shane is the best. But it's so funny. I said that about the Cubs. I was like, I don't want to be the lovable losers. I want to be the hated dynasty. And it didn't end up working. But it's fun to root. Like, I don't, but it'd be fun to root for Duke basketball or Yankees baseball.
Hey, man.
Like, that'd be amazing.
Kyle, I think your psychological profiling of some sector of sports fandom is correct. My dad's a Red Sox fan. They've won 3 titles in like the last 15 years. He still talks about it like it's like a hard scrabble, difficult thing that he's come out of. Like, what the hell are you doing?
The weather kind of sucks. The weather kind of sucks in Boston at times. So I can relate to him. He's with all my family up there.
Yeah, but it's like this is a crazy, exciting moment. This might be the best nest a number 1 quarterback has ever been given. I mean, don't you think, with the defense the way it is and the skill position talent, it's an absurdly good spot for a number 1 quarterback.
I'll say it's not the worst one, and I've heard I've heard your boy over here make his case for it, and I think that I can't really respond negatively to anything that he has said. If I'm a quarterback, it's exactly the situation I want to be in. I need a city ready for sacking, a city ready for looting, and you can latch on to this city. They are yearning for a leader. You can provide that to them, and obviously it's a locker room it's not a locker room that's ailing. There's a bunch of healthy young studs in that locker room who need a leader and somebody they can rely on. And I think, like a guy like Mahomes, or Jordan Love, who was given the keys to the car this past year, you see the impact that it can have on a locker room when guys have true confidence and true faith in their quarterback. And I'd say to Caleb Williams, face the music, be open-minded, communicate with the fans. I think that there's no better city. There's no city that is more in need of a honest to goodness relationship with their athletes than Chicago. I think there's something about being in the Midwest. There's something about the seasons in Chicago, but people need something else. There's something more that they crave, and I think that he is the guy for it. I mean, that's why I led with we need a superstar quarterback. That's what wins in this league. Caleb Williams is the answer.
It's very exciting. Last thing, at least for me, Kyle Long, Eddie Jackson, DJ Moore, Jaquan Brisker, Tevin Jenkins, guys on offense and defense all weekend, tweeting, posting on Instagram, well wishes, disappointment, anger, that sort of thing. What advice would you give? You just gave it for Caleb and the fans in the city. What advice would you give Caleb to win over Justin Fields' locker room?
Be you.
Okay, Matt Nagy.
Yeah, nice to see you.
I would say be you, because it looks pretty damn good to me.
Right? Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like, DJ Moore is really upset that Justin's gone. And then they're going to have a practice together. And he's going to be like, this is fine.
It's like, when his game gets off the bus and people see it for the first time, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think when the tongues of the defensive linemen are hanging in training camp from chasing his little ass around, and he's throwing laser beams 20 yards down the field to an in-breaking receiver or a guy on a double move, and people are saying, I thought it wasn't going to be able to happen, but it looks real to me.
Hey, Kyle, we're going to check in. We're going to check into Shane's emo past. I'm sure it exists. We'll get back to you on that.
Spencer's Gifts. He's actually a lifetime spender there. Spencer's Gifts. A lot of posters, a lot of eye black.
I can't dispute it.
He's got an eye of the storm that he's got.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Right,
Good
Kyle.
luck hiring the nanny. Thank you, Kyle.
Hey, you can never come on again, by the way.
Okay.
That's Kyle Long, everybody.